a great show today. I am not going to be taking callers because Donald Trump Jr. was visiting Stanley, Idaho yesterday for a special fundraiser dinner. Now, I did not go to the fundraiser dinner. It was $2,800 a plate to start with, which was just a little bit richer than my blood by about $10. No. But it was what was really cool about this is I'll give you a little bit of backstory. A couple days ago, I got a telephone call that said that Donald Trump Jr. would be coming to Stanley, Idaho for this fundraiser dinner, and that he was going to be stopping off in Haley, Idaho to transfer from his airplane then into to a car, and they were going to drive him up over Galena and take him into Stanley. But there was going to be an opportunity there for a few of us if we wanted to stop off to go there and do a little meet and greet when he got off the airplane and give a little speech, and then he would get in the car and over they would go. Then we got a telephone call that because there were going to be protesters, potentially Antifa. And those were some of the rumors that, so I can't confirm that part of it, but that for some reason, which that sounds likely. I mean, it's just a two-way road heading up and over the top of it, and there were protesters, as you'll see a little bit later. They had decided that to cancel that. He was going to instead be flying in and taxiing around to the back of the airport to a much more secure location, where they would then put him on a helicopter and fly him to the event. So a little bit disappointed they were going to cancel it. It's just kind of how things went. Yesterday at the end of my show, just before the show, we got another telephone call and it was all back on. But instead we were going to go over Galena into a small little not private, but a small little airport at Smiley Creek, right across from Smiley Creek Lodge is where the little airport is there. And it's just a little dirt runway, grass runway rather. That he would be landing there in the helicopter, and that he would, and then he'd say hi, and then hand out some stuff, and off he would go. So I was pretty excited about that, and I was able to make it work out. As you're going to see at the end of the show, I wasn't sure if I'd be able to make it, but I encouraged people to go, and I was able to go, and man, am I glad I went. It was probably one of the highlights of, definitely the highlight of the year. Was this opportunity to get to go over there and be a part of this experience. And I didn't get home until, oh gosh, it was probably 12:30, 1 o'clock this morning. But just high off the energy of having been there, experienced it, met some great people. Got to meet some important people, got to head over and have dinner with another just great group of individuals. And it was just a great day. So this morning I got up early. I'm only running on about 3 hours sleep right now. It's just kind of how things go. But I'm going to do the best I can to give you I put together a slideshow with some video and some pictures. And when he got off the helicopter, he came up and Donald Trump Jr. just gave us a great impromptu speech. He wasn't even expecting us. So though he was going to be doing all of this, it suddenly became news to him. But yet he still, when he heard that there was some of us there, when he got off the plane and he transferred into the helicopter, they let him know that there was a group of about a couple hundred people that were there. And as it turned out, we did a head count. There was about 110 folks, and then a few more kind of snuck in there towards the end. But anyhow, he still took the time. He said, I couldn't just fly over and go straight to this fundraiser event. I had to stop and just had to see these people. So, man, what a cool guy. And he did this, and it was just a wonderful experience. So I'm going to start. I'm just going to take you through a little bit of a slideshow I put together. I'm going to talk you through the slideshow as I go through it, and hey, come experience what we did. So here we go. So first of all, when I got there, I got into the Smiley Creek area and I left early. He was supposed to land at about 5:15, and that's when everything was planned for. It didn't work out that way, but I got there. Excuse me. There was a lot of smoke up there. The fires, as a matter of fact, it delayed things. As I was about to say, it's supposed to start off at about 5:15, and it was over a half an hour late simply because of all the smoke that was in the air. It was brutal. However, I took advantage of my time when I got there early to go on the rest of the way. I decided it was a 118-mile trip to get from here up to the Smiley Creek Airport. It took about 2 hours and 20 minutes to get there. And I was about an hour and a half early getting into the area. Intentionally. I absolutely love the area up there. It's beautiful. I used to do a lot of camping up there. So I thought it would be neat to go up and just spend a little bit of time before Donald Trump Jr. arrived. So I went the rest of the way up into Stanley. And I'm glad I did, because what I would have missed was this group of people. So there were a group of protesters that had gathered about 15 miles past Smiley Creek Lodge. They were on the side of the road. These jokers, I'm just going to go ahead and play. Yeah, you can see as we're coming by, they're holding up their protest signs, wearing their masks outdoors, mind you. Can I just have to back this up. I mean, this is great. Here we are in the beautiful outdoors, Stanley, Idaho, and instead of breathing the nice, well, it wasn't the nice fresh air, it was the nice fresh smoky air, but they're out there wearing their masks, and I got a kick out of that. I got a chuckle out of it, and so I did. I thought you might be interested in see what it was they were wearing. Yeah, let's get on past this. So I did come back. I turned around, I came back, and I got I did a slow drive by just so that I could get some pictures. I mean, here's what they're wearing. They've got signs that say, "This guy is standing behind me here on the video. You can't." Let's see if I can just get me out of the way real fast so that you can see this, because who wants to see my ugly mug in front of this? So yeah, you can see this guy here. I mean, he's got his "Science is not a liberal conspiracy" sign. This gal's carrying a "Climate change is real," and it just goes on. Oh, people are just amazing, aren't they? So anyway, I thought I'd stop by one more trip and get a picture of them, and they were more than happy to hold their signs up for me as I made the second drive by. They saw me turning around, no doubt wondering what I was doing. Oh, they got their 15 seconds of fame. There you go, folks. I gave you your 15 seconds of fame. Thank you for wearing your masks, social distancing, and not getting me sick with the coronavirus as I passed by you at 60 miles an hour. That's wonderful. So anyhow, as I got back over to the airport, I pulled up. I took this picture when I pulled up. A small crowd had gathered, and I wasn't sure what to expect when I got there. I've never really attended something like this, and they did. They had a group of people that were out there and kind of getting started. You can see that we did have KMVT showed up, Channel 7 showed up out of Boise. And so it was kind of exciting just to kind of see the energy as things were beginning. But as you can see here, a lot more people showed up. They just kept pouring in, and it was, the energy was exciting. I mean, there was just this air of excitement, and once you start getting more active, I wish I could take all of you on this new journey of mine as I'm getting to meet great people, as I'm getting to experience these events. And honestly, you can come on this journey right along with me. You don't have to be on my show. You can, all you have to do is just get active and say, hey, where's the next event? What's going on? Let's go. It's not closed. I mean, this was open to anybody that just followed our page. We start pushing out. I told you this was going to happen. That they were going to be there. All you had to do was show up, and you could have been on this great journey. I got to meet so many wonderful, excited people that were like-minded, and they were just. It was this gentleman here. I wish I could remember his name right off the top of my mind. You know what? I got his card, and I would be doing everyone an injustice. I'm going to take a moment. I'm just going to reach around the corner. I've got my wallet, and I stuck his card in my wallet. I believe I did. Let's just pull it out because I want to give Isaac Tellez. This gentleman here. So I hope you can see this. Isaac Tellez. He is from the Assembly of God Church. He's the lead pastor over there in Hagerman and at the Hagerman Christian Center. And he came out and this guy was just so full of life and energy and so kind and this is the second time that I have seen him, and Isaac, if I apologize, it's not you, it's me. I'm just bad with names. It takes me a little while to start remembering everybody's names. But I wanted to make sure and mention you because this is the second time that I have met this gentleman. He's the one right here in the front, getting pictures with everyone, and he, I got to meet him up at the Lieutenant Governor Janice McGeachin's home in Sun Valley, right up there in the between Ketchum and Haley. There was a fundraiser event there that I attended here about a week and a half ago or so. Anyhow, he's just always I think he's up and coming, and keep an eye on this guy because he's just a wonderful, wonderful human being, and I wanted to point that out. It was great to get to see him again. But later, hang in there if you're just joining me, because I got the full video. I was right up in front and center when Donald Trump Jr. came out and spoke to us, and I got the whole thing. And I'm going to play the whole video. I didn't edit it. I didn't cut it. It's about 7 minutes, and you're going to see this was just awesome. You should have been there. You should. I can't say it in a minute. I'm just going to say you should have been there. You would have enjoyed every minute of this. And so even though he was late getting there because of the smoke that was in the air, they had to delay his landing in Haley. So it was delayed by 30, 45 minutes, and then we finally got the word. So anyway, I'm going to keep moving forward here. I'll talk about that a little bit later. So everybody was gathered in. There was this guy. I had to take this picture and show it to you. I'm going to zoom in here on this guy. You can read his shirt. Old farts lives matter. It was so fun. I mean, these were the kind of folks that we got to meet and just enjoy some time with. So let me see if I can now figure out how to get back out of this. Oh, I am not running this in the type of view. I'm going to just make a little change to make this. I'm going to make my life just a little bit easier, guys. So bear with me just a second. I'm going to run this from presenter view and end this slideshow for just a second and start it over again, just so that I can make this a little bit smoother, because I do have a lot of slides going on. So there we go. Now I can zoom in and zoom out on this a lot easier as I'm going through the show. You guys get to see me do all of this live, and I'm working my way through it. So it's always a little bit new to me working with all of this technology together. What you got to understand is I have multiple programs running right now. So I've got PowerPoint running for the slideshow that I'm showing you. I have a piece of software that I'm using so that I can do this live broadcast. This live broadcast is streaming to a website called Restream, and that website then is that service restreams this out to you right now on Facebook and YouTube if you're joining me there. And sometimes I have another piece of software or two running in the background to make all of this come together. So there's the software running the camera, there's a software running the microphone, and I have to sync all this up. So there is a lot going on right now. This poor computer of mine is begging for mercy, no doubt. But yeah, so it's a little bit new to learn how to use all of this together. So I appreciate you bearing with me as I do these shows. And I'm learning my way through all of this, and obviously with time this will become smooth and easy. But anyhow, so we had this gentleman, and enough of all that garbage. But we had this gentleman come out there, and we got to visit with him for a moment, and you can just tell the way he looks in this picture. I have no doubt is the way he is in life. I'm sure he has just loved his life, and he has found a way to make things throughout his life just always enjoyable, because that smile on his face is his personality. We had Women for Trump that showed up, and it was a large group of women that showed up there, and they were just an awesome group of ladies, and excited. And this was, if you're not familiar with her, this is your lieutenant governor, who I wish, honestly, I don't say this lightly, I wish that she was our governor right now instead of Governor Little. She would be handling things completely different. She is, I'm going to give her a great plug. I've had a few conversations with her now. I have been following her through this whole situation. And she would absolutely not infringe on our rights. She would not have declared martial law, and she would be working together with our Senate. She'd be working together with our legislature. Obviously, I'm assuming this, but from visiting with her and following her, I just have no doubt she would be handling this completely different. In fact, if you happen to follow it, up north, there was a restaurant bar that reopened early, and Chicken Little sent in the Idaho State Police to I mean, they treated this board, they bullied this bar because she was there for the reopening, along with Raul Labrador, who also would have been a much better governor than who we have right now. But, we got what we got. He's the one who got my vote, honestly, in the election. But unfortunately, Chicken Little is part of the establishment, and here we are. We got what we got. And he's a perfect example of why we have got to stop voting for people simply because they have the R next to their name. It does not mean that they are true constitutional conservatives. But Lieutenant Governor McGeechan, Janice is a wonderful, wonderful woman. And I would throw my support behind her wholeheartedly if she were to run for governor. I don't know if she will. But we can certainly hope that she does. And I was glad to take an opportunity to get this picture with her intentionally so I could give her this plug. We also had Representative Moyle. So there was a period of time there when we weren't sure if Donald Trump Jr. was going to arrive. So here's the whole picture. We're in this Smiley Creek. There is not cell service. Nobody has cell phone service here. Nobody. And so we're standing out there, we're waiting to find out, what's going on. It's 5:15 comes and goes, 5:30 comes and goes. It's about 5:45. And people are like, oh boy, is he going to show up? What happened? So finally, somebody ran down to the lodge and they got on the Wi-Fi. And while they were on the Wi-Fi, finding out what was going on, Lieutenant Governor McGeechan comes up and makes an announcement, and she said, hey guys, we're finding out what's going on. We're not sure what's taking so long, but we are finding out. But in the meantime, let's have a little question and answer. I'd like to introduce you to Representative Moyle, and he'll speak and answer any questions that you have. And it's funny, he said, I got the video of it. It was about 10 minutes. There was babies crying in the background, or I would be playing it right now, just from where my standpoint. And it was just a little bit too noisy of a video. I didn't want to play it. So anyhow, but she said, he got on the stood out there and he just said, hey, what I've been in this a long time, and what I've learned is that if unless you're important like Donald Trump, nobody wants to hear what you're going to say. So instead, I'm going to do a question and answer session, which was kind of great. And so people got to ask some questions of him about his opinion on what was happening on the local and the national level, and it was kind of fun. I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but you should have been there. You would have enjoyed it and enjoyed Migichin talking for a few moments, and it was just a neat time. And then the moment that we were waiting for finally arrived. So the answer that came in, why were we having to hang out and wait? I'm sure you're interested to know that. It was just so smoky that they didn't feel safe bringing him down into Haley. And I don't think it was all because they couldn't see the runway. Obviously, with it being Donald Trump's son and the level of security, Secret Service no doubt wanted to make sure that they were landing him in a safe environment. So that's what took so long. They had to wait for him to come in and finally land in Haley. And we did get word back while we were having this question and answer session that he was about 5 minutes from landing in Haley, and then he would be making his way from Haley in a helicopter over. We weren't sure, excuse me, at that point they said, we're not sure if he's going to be able to land here. They're going to have to make that determination as he's flying in, or if he's going to have to fly on over. But if he does fly over, he will come in really low and he'll wave to us as he flies by. So that was the word that we had. And so we waited. Everybody stuck around. We had people kind of got out and did a little tailgating, so to speak. And I cranked up some music, and we just hung out and had a good time and did some more visiting and taking pictures. And it was just cool. But when all was said and done, he did land. And I am going to shut up at this point, and I'm just going to let you experience this the same way that we did. Excuse me, guys. I am so sorry. The smoke just, I especially when trees are burning and stuff, my allergies go into full force, and it's just been killing me these last several days. And especially after you can see, even in the background here, you can usually see those mountains. They're beautiful. They're gorgeous. But anyhow, I'm going to shut up, and I'm just going to let you experience this the same way that we did. I'm going to take me out of the way really quick. I didn't realize it stopped the video when I did this, but I'm just going to get me out of the way and let you continue on.
She can do it in high heels, I promise, okay? Guys, thank you so much. We appreciate the support. It's absolutely awesome. It's great to be here. Guys like yourself, fighting for the same thing we are. For hardworking Americans. You see what's going around in the country. You got Joe Biden making promises, and mean, think about how insane it is, right? If he couldn't have done it in the first half a century of his DC career, you think he's going to get it done now? No! You know, it's ridiculous. He shipped our jobs to China. His son's still shipping our jobs to China. He sent our American dream abroad, but now things are going to be different. Or we could go with Donald Trump. The outsider who built the greatest economy America has ever known. The outsider who's getting peace deals done in the Middle East.
Firing the bad guy.
It's sort of nice to have some winning going on for a change in America, right?
Amen.
So you guys are a part of that. You know, we don't have the mainstream media. We can't hide in a basement for months without people asking us questions. We don't get the benefit of the doubt with that, right? Joe Biden, he can show up once every 3 weeks. He appears out of his lair, forgets what state he's in. If I was the Biden campaign right now, it's but beautiful here in Alaska. And he can get away with it, no problem. Media's like nothing to see here. His son can take $1.5 billion from China, but Joe's going to be tough on China now after 50 years of shipping our jobs in. No one is that stupid. But again, it's hard to Please, I just want to go hunting and fishing. The reality is, that's what I want to do, I know. And I got to work, not hunt and fish right now. I mean, it's killing me. My hunting season starts on November 4th after this craziness is over. But thank you guys for all the support. Thank you for all of what you guys are doing. Like I said, we didn't even know that we were supposed to be here. But they said this many people were there. I said, we got to stop, say hi to the people that matter, and that's you. You guys.
Thank you for being so supportive.
You guys are why we're doing this. Real Americans is why we're doing this. My father didn't need this job. He knew what came with it. The last thing he said to me when he went and announced back in 2016 in June, he goes, now we find out who our real friends are. Right before he went down the escalator. You guys remember that one, right? And man, was he right. But more importantly, it shows he knew what he was getting into, but he did it anyway. That tells us all we need to know about the guy. He knew his friends would turn. He knew the establishment would turn. He knew the insane people that want to keep us in these endless wars would be against him. Instead, he's pulling us out of them. You know, it's a problem when you're in a war and our own generals can't articulate why we are still there after 20 years, right? That's a problem. But you know why? They want that board seat at Raytheon. You know, they want that board seat at War Inc. So Americans don't want our kids going there dying. But you know what? The board seat pays a lot, so we'll keep it going. No more. So you guys are the front lines of that, okay? You guys matter. We need you to be out there. We need you talking. We need you making viral moments. We need you telling your friends how important it is. Not too worried about Idaho. I think we'll do pretty well here. So you know what? Call some of your friends in the neighboring states, okay? Make sure they get out. Make sure they make this happen, okay?
Thank you, guys. Thank you for supporting President Trump.
We get it done. We'll keep fighting, guys, okay? We promise.
He stands for the flag and the men and women in blue. Thank you for your service.
So we truly appreciate it. You know, we'll just keep fighting just like you guys, okay? So stay in it, get engaged, call your friends, knock on doors, preferably in states unlike Idaho. If you have friends in Pennsylvania, do that, okay? That's, again, not too worried about here, but we got to support everyone. So thank you guys very much, okay? We really appreciate it, okay?
Thank you for coming.
Hey, thank you.
Well, we're trying. We're trying. Yeah. Well, I agree with that, but, you know, they're going to do whatever they can, and there's a long history of that. So, you know, let's keep fighting. So, I like that. That guy's awesome. Dad! I haven't seen him much. You know, if I get a call these days, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. He's still fighting in the Oval Office. So it's good to see my father out here. And look, babies for Trump, too. I like that. Babies for Trump. Little kids for Trump. Thank you guys for coming out. I really appreciate it. You guys having fun?
We got some other little ones over here. Come on over here.
Come on, baby doll. Come on.
I basically have, if I have 5 kids, it's a lot. I I basically have 7 and 8s. You know, I got
What
a
about
6.
this little baby girl over here?
It's almost there. I can't even remember anymore.
I think she's kind
But
of
thank you guys
scared.
for coming out. We really appreciate it, okay?
Great to see you. Thank you. We love young Trump supporters.
Now, if you
right?
guys were Democrats, you could actually vote. But we're not. We got to play by the rules. It's a little different. But thank you guys for coming out, okay?
Probably your oldest voter because she's
Well,
97.
thank you.
97.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
97? 97, not 87?
She's better than
I want whatever she's doing. I want to lock her in. She's standing there. She's more vibrant than I am at this point.
She may be a Trump. She's got so much energy, right?
And she wrote an article for your dad in the Twin Falls Times right away. Yeah. Love to meet you.
I've met a couple of people close to that, but none standing up and active and walking around, right? I mean, this is, look, she's dancing. I like that.
She loves to dance.
All right. You want to get a big group shot? We'll get I'll post it on social. That way everyone gets it because we don't have time to get everyone's phone, okay? Okay.
All right, so as you can see, there were a lot of great things. He was just a lot of fun, and he came out and it was just so you could have been there. This is the funny thing. You could have been there. All you have to do is show up. And it's so much fun to be a part of what's going on now. And these events and kind of getting in the middle of this circle of people that are active politically, that are trying to make changes and are making changes. I've been able to influence a few things over the last little bit. It kind of started. Okay, this is funny, and I know a lot of you are going to laugh, but one of the first things that I posted a little complaint about, I guess, if you will, it's been several years back, was that over here in Twin Falls, it was I think it was Memorial Day or Thanksgiving. I can't remember. It was one of those, and I posted a complaint up, and it was that why can't you have liquor stores? I think it was Memorial Day. It was or Veterans Day. It was one of those. Anyway, our vets. Why can't they go out and go to a bar and enjoy themselves on that day? The liquor was shut down in Twin Falls, the way we ran things. And I got to influence that change. From that, the mayor at the time saw my little deal and shot me a message and said, "How many bars and restaurants do you think would be on board with this?" And I said, I can tell you all of them. And went and visited with them, and that influenced that change here in town. And so it was a small thing, but I said, "Wow, man, that's kind of cool." You say something, you speak up, and people listen. Imagine that. They actually do listen if you speak up. So fast forward a little bit, and there was a law that was going to that the Senate was considering here in Idaho that could have opened the door for red flag laws, Marcy's laws, that kind of stuff. And I shot Senator Anthon a message, and he responded. And we had this dialogue back and forth. It started just on his Facebook page, out live where everybody could see it. Shot something off to him, and then we had a little private conversation back and forth. And you know what? He listened. And he said, as an attorney, I don't think that this law is going to that a judge would. What it was is that the wording of the particular law they were looking at would have said, given the judge the discretion to take whatever action he felt was necessary to provide a reasonable amount of safety for women that were on the receiving end of violence, to keep them from somebody from going in and shooting them or beating them up or whatever, just to provide that safety. But it left it wide open where the judge could then say, well, we're going to go take somebody's guns away from them because that's necessary for a reasonable amount of safety. And it just opened up the door for red flag laws here in Idaho. It's something we didn't want. But anyway, he said, I didn't think that the wording would lead to that. However, it might. And so we're going to change that wording as kind of to kind of button things up and make sure that doesn't happen. Again, he listened. And so the more that I'm getting involved here, I'm finding out that yes, people will listen to you, and these are our senators and our representatives, and if you squeak loud enough, they'll listen. And it's just amazing. It's an amazing experience to find out that yes, we do have a voice. All we have to do is open our mouth or send a quick little email. And so that's why I'm attending these things. Number one, it's fun. But number two, I want to take you along with me and show you what it's like to be a part of these things, so that maybe you'll get excited too and come on this journey with me, because it's exciting, it's fun, it's enjoyable. But anyway, I got some more video and I got some more shots. So let's pull this back up on the screen real quick and and kick it off. So let's continue this little journey. So this 97-year-old woman, she is full of life. You'd never imagine it. And so I had to just post her picture if this makes it back around to her, because I just got a great picture of all of them together. So I wanted her to have it. So there you are. You're a great lady. I hope this little clip makes its way around to you and you can hear me say that. It was just exciting and fun to see you out there and still kicking. Man, it's wonderful. So right after that photo, before he got back on the helicopter, this gal asked if she could say a prayer with Donald Trump Jr. and he accepted that opportunity. And I'll just play this little clip for you. I caught kind of I wasn't ready for this to happen. I thought I was just taking some photos at this point, but I quickly I turned the video on, and so I'll let you just kind of be a part of this part as well. So that was a neat moment, and then so I got some I was able to get a picture with him. I didn't you see that on my Facebook page. I didn't even add that photo into this. I probably should have, because that was the highlight. I was hoping to get a photo with him, and I drove that 2 hours and 20 minutes all the way there. Not because I wanted the photo to hang on my wall, but because I wanted to get your attention. And those of you out there that happen to see that photo that now are maybe watching this video as a result of that, I did that because I wanted to get your attention, to show you that yes, if you show up to even events like this, you're going to meet some great people. You're going to meet people that you'll be able, once you talk to someone, it just feels more comfortable sending them an email. When it's your representatives, when it's your senators, when it's your lieutenant governor, whoever it might be, I know now from experience, it's just a lot easier to send them a quick email and say, hey, remember me? We met out at this event, and I have some concerns over here, and these are my concerns. And they remember you, which is great. I mean, the Lieutenant Governor McGeechan, now when she sees me, she's, hi, Shane. And that's really neat. And some of these other representatives, when they see me, and it was kind of fun walking up. As soon as I got out of the car and started walking up, I had people looking at me and say, hey, I've been watching your posts. I've been watching your videos. You're Shane, right? And that was fun. It's just an exciting journey that I'm on right now. And I just want to take as many of you with me as I can along on this, and meet all of you, and just encourage you that you need to get involved. That was the whole point of all of this, of driving up there, was just to encourage all of you. That it's not just complaining. It's not just saying, hey, I'm worried about this. It's not just saying, hey, you know what, I think this is a good idea, and I hope that you listen to me, and sending out those emails, and hey, here's some change that I think. It's not just that. It's this. It's this part of it is the reward to me. It's just part of that reward of getting to go out and meet other like-minded people and enjoy it. It's not just the grind. There's a lot of fun that comes with it, enjoyment as well. So anyway, yeah, this was the exit, and I'm gonna just go ahead and play this because here's kind of where it all came to a head and where it ended. And off he went, and even got the little wave in there. You'll notice that that he was holding his camera up as he was waving at us through the window. So I hope that means that that our little town, our little gathering rather, out in this remote area, out in the Idaho wilderness, high desert, whatever you want to call it up there, makes its way onto his Twitter feed today. So I encourage you to jump on there and go over to his Facebook or Twitter feed and see if maybe, I know I will. I'll be jumping over there to see if maybe this made that out there. So I am going to go ahead and let me just turn off this view really quick. I'm going to end all of that, open it up, because this was what I went up there for. And I was hoping to get this picture, and I did get this picture, and it just was so fun. Let me see if I can quickly do this, because I don't want to, hang out here too long with you and carry this on too much longer. But this was the payoff, right? You drive all the way up there. You hope you get to meet somebody, or at the very least get a photo with them, so I can bring it back to you and show you. And so let me see if I can find the folder first of all. There's no sense in carrying this on too long. If it's going to take too long, then I'm just not going to mess with that. Here we go. Get into the Smiley Creek, and let's get right down the folders. And here it is. I'm going to bring up that monitor again. I don't know how long right now I've got so many things running. I told you this poor computer is just begging for mercy right now because I've got so much going on with it that I don't even know if it's going to be able to pull this photo up. Here we go. It's just moving slow, but this is it. This was the shot I was looking for, and I doubt that he'll ever see my little video. But Donald Trump Jr., when I tapped you on the shoulder, I was the only one that I saw, aside from the 97-year-old that he took a photo with one-on-one. I was the only one that got a selfie. I was assertive. I came over. I just tapped him, said, "Hey, I have a little post that I do. Would you mind just taking a quick, before you get on the helicopter, would take a quick selfie with me?" And he obliged. I'm sure he was real excited to take that little photo. However, he did it for me, and it was for a purpose. This wasn't just so I could hang it on the wall and say I got a picture with Donald Trump Jr. It was so I could do what I'm doing right this second. And I want to encourage everybody to get involved, get out there, and go do something. This was much more fun than sitting at home watching the next episode of reruns of Friends or Seinfeld or whatever the heck people are doing these days. This was a lot more fun than that. This was a lot more, I got out there and just got to meet people. I can't say it enough. Get involved, go do something. And if you want to know what's happening next, you could have been there. I told you about this yesterday. Okay, if you're sitting there going, "Gosh, man, that looks like it was fun. I wish I'd have been there." You could have been there. All you had to do was show up. Oh, I am going to end this video with that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening in, and I will see you again tomorrow morning on Shane Talks Politics. Have a great day.